Hi, thank you for joining us today. My name is Mark.
And I'm Laurel.
And today we are going to talk about circle cuts.
Woo!
Yes. Or some of you might be like, not so much. I can't do circles.
Yeah, how many of you have gone and grabbed a cup or a bowl or something, that you've tried that's not quite a circle, but you've gone and you're like, that's close enough, and then you go back in and, cut it out to make it the circle. How many of you have done that? Because I'll tell you what, I've done it.
So, circle cutter. This is our TrueCut 360, and in a little bit, we'll turn the time over to Carla, who's doing a project actually with the circle cutter called Spectrum Eclipse, where she uses a circle cutter, which makes her project easier because she's using the right tool. So this is our circle cutter. What I want to look at is the base of the circle cutter. We're going to go over some of the features, but let's first look at the base of the circle cutter and why we have it so wide. So LJ, one of the things that with circle cutting I should say, is the tool being used. Whether you're using something like a compass and it bunches the fabric up underneath, or the fabric might move on you, why did we design a circle cutter with a wide base?
Yeah, we actually did it to help avoid and actually prevent that. So a lot of times, just as Mark pointed out, that when people are going to do it, sometimes you're like, sometimes if you try to move the cutter around, actually cut that circle out, it can actually bunch up or shift your fabric, so then your circle is no longer a circle. But with this wide base, it actually eliminates that, so you're able to keep the smooth movement throughout the entire thing and no bunching happening.
And that's great. And so what we're talking about is on the piece of fabric as we're going, you can see with the wide base that it's going to keep that fabric nice and flat. It will not bunch up underneath, and that's what we want. If we're going to do a circle and we want 4-inch circle, we want to have a 4-inch circle at the end. We don't want to have a little tail at the end or maybe a little smaller because it bunched up on you. We don't want that. We want to cut exactly the size we're looking to do perfect every time. The circle cutter also can cut 2 to 12 inches.
Yes.
And that is big. 12 inches is massive, but what's nice is you can layer it down. So from 2 up to 12 inches, easily cut. With the way this is used, you can cut those circles with ease. And how many layers, Laurel, can we cut with this?
Yeah, you actually can cut up to 3 layers of fabric, or if you're doing denim, you can cut 2 layers of denim at a time.
So it's very simple, very easy. Let's go ahead and look at making a couple cuts here. And right now I'm going to go ahead and do a 12-inch circle because that's the biggest, so we're going to go ahead and do a 12. And how we use this is we cross our hands. One of the ways you can do it is this way. Some will do it this way where their hands are straight in front of them. We recommend crossing the hands. And if you cross the hands, that will give you one nice motion all the way around. So as I go around this red fabric, you can see nice and simple all the way around. So let's go ahead and now make that cut. I'm going to press down. This right here is our pin where it holds it in place. Underneath the blue knob is where the blade is. And if we press it down, the blade is pretty much activated. We have safety in all of our TrueCut products.
Yes.
Right, LJ? We don't want anybody cutting themselves by accident or holding it and someone cutting them. And so this will come with a safety right here. We can slide this in and it keeps the blade from wanting to go down. So TrueCut is all about safe. In fact, a lot of the stuff that we have is easier, safer, and more accurate. And this Circle Cutter 360 proves that with everything that we talked about, right? All right, so as we press this down, I'm going to go ahead and make one nice 12-inch circle. And there we go. So very easy. Very fast. I don't know if we were able to get that on camera because that just goes super fast, right, as we go around, and very fun. And so when you do circles like that and it comes out that clean and that fast, who wouldn't want to do more circles now, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think I speak for a couple people out there. I mean, who wants to cut a circle, right? Cutting a circle isn't really something we like to do, but I'll tell you, when I tried this, I definitely went through some backwards, like, I'm just gonna cut another circle. And I was like, how about this size? And I cut another circle, right? So it's something that I think you'll find that you just love and is super easy, as Mark pointed out, very effortless to make really 2 to 12 inches of a circle.
That's right. And how we adjust that is on this pin, we simply just twist the bottom of the knob and now we can slide this up and down the base. All right, let's go ahead and do another cut. And right now I'm going to do 8 inches. And I have an 8-inch circle. So super easy. I'm going to show the other way of what we talked about, having our hands this way. You noticed when I was using this format, it was nice and simple. If we were to cut it doing it this is what will happen. You simply, when you go down, when you go around, you end up hitting your other hand. So we come underneath and come all the way to the top. So you can do that as well. You can see you get a perfect circle, but I find using it where you cross your hands, you get a better motion all the way around.
Yeah, a little bit of a smoother, easier motion to really, just like you're pretty much uncrossing your hands. That's really what that motion is.
That's right. So if you have a project that you're working on and you don't want to go find a bowl or a cup or different size of those, you want to be able to use a circle cutter right away, get this TrueCut 360. It makes it very, very simple with your projects. And again, as we're quilting, we want to enjoy, right? One of the words I love is the word enjoy. So enjoy what you're doing, pick up the 360 circle cutter and just have fun doing it.
Yeah, and actually one story that I love is there was this customer once who had a project. I'm sure a lot of you do, like, oh, I love that design, I'm gonna give it a try, and you have all these things you'd love to try. And one of them with this sweet lady is that she had one that had some circles. And so she had a harder time trying to do circles because, really to get a circle, it's pretty hard. And so I was like, you know what? Let me show you this. And I showed her our awesome 360 cutter, and she's like, this is amazing. She's like, I can finally go do the design and the quilt that I've wanted to do for years now. So it was amazing to be able to see her get to do a pattern that she had been wanting to do for a long time.
That's right. One thing I want to point out is where the blade is. I talked about it being underneath. I'm going to go ahead and open this lever up. So I'm going to show you where the blade is. The blade is right underneath the blue knob there, and it comes in a cartridge. You can see it right there, and it's very easy to replace. You simply just take the cartridge out, and there's your blade. So it is a circular blade, and we have many replacements. So if you're cutting denim, you're going to replace your blade often. My wife, I got this circle cutter for her not too long ago, and she did a denim circle quilt, and I was the one cutting out each of those circles. And yes, it was fast. Yes, it was easy, but it will dull your blade because of what you're cutting, and that's okay. We have these replacement blades. You can get a couple as well, so you'll be ready and prepared for anything that you're cutting.
Okay, now we're actually going to turn some time over to Carla, who's actually going to show us a project that she did using the circle cutter, and you're just going to see again how easy, safe, and accurate, and really effortless it is to use this circle cutter.
Let me just jump off and show you a couple quilts that I've created. This quilt behind me, I made when the circle cutter first came out. I was testing it out to see if it really worked, and it really does work. And so I made this quilt. It's kind of a Japanese-inspired quilt because we make quilting frames for a lot of companies, and Juki was one of those companies. And so this went on the quilting frame that we made for Juki. So it was just really fun, and I used all these different color blues, and it turned out really nice. And what I did was I appliqued all these circles on by hand. I didn't even use the machine way back when because we didn't have our machines yet. So then over here, this is my very first free motion quilt I ever free motion quilted. And I just was inspired to cut out a bunch of different circles with different fabrics, and I just put them on the background, and you can see right here, some of them float off the edge. And so it's just kind of a fun take, and they're different sizes as well. So you can cut multiple pieces of fabric at one time, up to 3. No, I wouldn't cut any more than that. And I just put them on, and you can just see that it was really fun and just really different. And like I said, this was my very first free motion quilt, and it just turned out a lot of fun. And so those are just 2 styles, okay, that I wanted to show you. But then I was doing a little homework, and I was fiddle around online, and I saw a similar design online, and I thought, hey, we could do that with the circle cutter. So last night I whipped this up, and it's just a fun little design that looks like, I call it my spectrum eclipse. And it just looks like, the lights turned on in this area and it's dark right here. And it was really easy to put together with the circle cutter. And so I just wanted to show you some of the many, many, many things that you can do with the circle cutter. I went and pulled out 9 dark, well, not 9, 8 dark pieces of fabric, and then I got their counterparts of the light pieces of fabric. And then to make it easier on me, I cut out squares of heat and bond, and I ironed it on. And so now I can cut out my circles. My dark circles is what I'm going to cut out first, all right? And so what I did is I just cut out the square. So what I'm going to do is just fold my squares so that they match up, so that I have a mark on them and a center point. And now I have my little intersection here. Okay, and I turned it over so it would be easier for you to see. So right here on the circle cutter, you have your anchor, is what I want to call it. And it's a little pin that you push down, and you can see right there, it's a little pin that pokes down into the fabric, and it has this wide surface. And this wide surface allows it to glide over your fabric without it bunching up and making it all bunched up, and you get the little wavy lines. Now, also on the circle cutter, you see right here, we have, it goes from 2 to 12 inches. And I'm going to make a 6-inch circle. So I just undid my anchor point, and I slid it down to my 6. And you see it has these little arms right here that come out, so that you can know that you're right on the 6, and then you just turn the little knob here to lock it into place, and it's not going to shift or move on you. So what's nice about the circle cutter is it has a safety feature. So if you're not using it, you can lock it so that a little kid's not going to cut themselves, or, so it's got a lot of safety features involved. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little anchor point, and I am going to position it right over my intersection right here. Okay, so I want to turn this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of cross my hands, okay? And I'm just going to twist it around, just like that. And I have my circle, just like that. So I have 2 circles down, and I have 6 to go. But that's what I did with the circle cutter. So I'm just going to keep going. But as you're perusing, you can cut out circles, and you can use raw edge applique. You can applique them on like I did on these 2 quilts. You can, the sky's the limit when it comes to the circle quilts and what you can do with them. So I'm just folding it again to get my cross marks so I can find my middle. And then I'm going to fold it one more time right here. And I love the creative side of quilting. I like looking around, thinking of new ideas, ways to use our different products. It's just one of the fun things. It really makes my job the perfect job, because it's really not a job. It's more of something that I like to do. So I'm getting paid to do something that I really enjoy. So I'm just going to do it again. So I'm just going to, I've marked my X. I'm going to put my hand down, and I'm just going to cross, and I'm going to go round just like that. And I've made one more circle. And you can see how easy it is to line up your intersection with your pivot point. So if you wanted to use this as well, you could cut out another square outside. Just make sure that you're doing your seam allowance, and you could fussy cut it, and then you could use this as well on another block. So you could put one on top of the other and have a different look. I'll put it down here. So there are a lot of things or ways to use the circle cutter. And Blaine, I know that it's an incredible price this week. As we're talking about it, all our TrueCut items are a great price. So I'm just going to do one more dark, and then I'm going to show you what I did with the light colors. So I'm just going to line that up, and I'm going to do this dark blue. And I'm just going to line it up and put it down. And then I'm just going to push and turn. And you can see how smooth a circle and how nice the edges are. You don't have to take your scissors and cut again like you do with some. All right, so let me do a light color, and I've got my dark colors, so let me do my light blue right here. So I'll do a light blue one really quick, and I'll just show you. Now with this little design, it's kind of fun. You can tell that I'm doing the same size circle on the light colors as I did with the dark colors. And what I'm doing is I will cut the centers in half right here, and just do a half circle for right here. And then I'll do a quarter circle right here on my corners, and that's where you get that fun look. But what you want to make sure is when you're putting this together is that you make it nice and straight, and you position them so that they're nice and straight across to get that nice look that you're looking for. So let me finish this up right here. And I'm going to show you a couple other of our TrueCut products as well, since it's Circle Day. All right. So here's my light blue circle. So since it's just a quarter, I already have my quarter marks because of my center. So what I'll do is I'll just take my straight ruler, and I'm going to line it up on my mat, so I'm making sure it's nice and straight, and I'm moving over. And what's nice about our rulers is you can tell I have our true grips on it, so it's not going to slide and move, so you can get a nice accurate cut. So I'm going to place it on top of my mark, and I'm using the lines of my mat to help line up my circle, and I'm using my guide to make it nice and straight so I don't deviate and move off in any direction. I just want a nice straight cut. And I want to just make sure. And I'm just going to cut it up like that. So now I have a half circle, okay? And now I'm just going to take my half circle, and I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to line it right here on my mat across the top so I know it's nice and straight. And I want to line it up so it's the center is lined up along this angle and horizontal and vertical. So I'm using the lines of my mat as well as rather than my cutter, because this I want it to be nice and accurate. And so I'm just lining it up, and I'm using my cutter again, and I'm just going to go up like this. Okay. And so there I have my half circle. And so you'll just put that on there on your black background. So that's this one right here. So really easy. The circle cutter makes quick work of it. You'll spend more time ironing than you will cutting. That's the truth of it. So let me do one more. I'll do the green. I have the green here. So I'm just going to hurry and cut the green out. And the black background on this just kind of makes it a lot of fun. And it's a little different look. And look how quickly it's working. I'm getting it done. So again, I'm just going to place my circle cutter. Now you can do any size circle you want. I just was kind of doing my little test last night. So these are 4-inch circles that I made this with. I'm cutting out 6-inch circles right now. So anyway, just very, very, very easy to use. I'm just going to turn it again. I'm going to place my anchor, push down on it, and I didn't show you right here where the blade is. So when you purchase the circle cutter, it comes with a little blade, and it's a smaller blade than the 28-inch blade. And it has a little cover, a safety cover over it that you have to take off, but it's not hard to do. And we also have replacement blades for your circle cutter because you'll use it time and time again. Eventually, the blade will wear out. My one at home is just about getting worn out. I haven't changed it yet, but it's getting close to time. But anyway, just know that you can also purchase the replacement blades with this as well. So I get so excited. We were just talking about this. I get a little ADHD because I have my mind going a million miles an hour and I want to talk about everything all at once. And I have to slow down and make it work. And make it make sense. So I'm just going to fold this again for my green and make sure that it's all nice and centered. And then on my green, it's my darker green. So now I have another little quarter circle. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up on my mat right here. And all you quilters already know how to cut. I know that. But our products, the Grace TrueCut products, are awesome. My brother, when he came out with TrueCut, wanted to design a cutting system that was safer for you, more accurate, and easy, and makes it easy for you. And you can tell. So there's my green. So I'm just going to put that up here with the green right here. And I'm going to turn it so it's like this. So there's the green. Okay. And let's do a half circle. Got this orange here. I'm just going to fold it again, get my intersection, and then I'm going to put my anchor down. All right, and here's the orange one right here. And, I just cut 2 layers. Just wanted to show you what quick work it makes of cutting your circles. And like I said, because of the width of this, it just glides over your fabrics. So you don't need to worry about it bunching up and causing you problems and then having a nice wonky circle that you're going to have to use on your wonky quilt. So this will make your circles look really, really nice.
Wasn't that amazing?
Yes.
Oh, did you see that? That was so cool. I'm going to be honest, I don't know that I thought you could do that with the circle cutter. That's pretty impressive.
It's
the
a
colors.
beautiful wall hanging.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. Well, thank you so much, Carla. And just a reminder, go and follow us, Facebook, Instagram, and we do have a YouTube as well. We have a lot of great videos on there that actually have some great instructions about our products there as well.